A Big Island father just granted KITV4 his first local interview as the debate and finger-pointing over the terrorist attacks in Benghazi rages on as passionately as ever. One of 4 Americans killed in Libya was Tyrone Woods, a former Navy SEAL who spent some of his teenage years on the Big Island. His father just sat down with KITV4's Andrew Pereira to talk about the questions that still linger after more than 18 months. And Andrew joining us now live with this exclusive. Andrew.
Yunji, in the days after the attack, Charles Woods planned on mourning in privacy. But as he learned more about what transpired, he said he had to come forward. Charles Woods can remember his son Tyrone as a typical 16-year-old working at the local KTA superstore in Kailua Kona. He had moved from Oregon to the Big Island to be with his dad.
In fact, this spot right here, Honol's Beach, is where he learned how to boogie board, how to surf.
It's also where Tyrone Woods developed a strong sense of community and responsibility.
He went straight out of high school into the Navy. He said to become a Navy SEAL, not to scrape barnacles off the bottom of a boat.
On September 11, 2012, Tyrone Woods was thrust into the crossroads of history while providing security to U.S. diplomats in Libya. Woods was no longer a Navy SEAL, but an independent contractor working for the CIA. At about 9:40 p.m. in Libya, chaos erupts at the U.S. consulate in Benghazi. Nearly 2.5 hours later, the nearby Mission Annex also comes under attack. Twice, Tyrone Woods asked to join the fight. Twice, superiors in Washington said no.
He disobeyed orders. He rescued about 30 people at the compound there. Unfortunately, Chris Stevens, the ambassador, was already dead.
Ambassador Stevens, Glenn Doherty, Sean Smith, and Woods are among 4 Americans killed in the attack that has since spiraled into political controversy.
What are the questions that you want answered?
Well, one of the major questions is why was no attempt made to rescue? There was no attempt made, and like to know why that actually happened.
In the days after the attack, the White House links the onslaught in Benghazi to an anti-Muslim video with former U.S. Ambassador to the UN, Susan Rice, saying this.
In reaction to this very offensive video.
Recently, on April 29th, the White House was forced to release an email conservatives say listed talking points the administration wanted to use to mask the failure of U.S. policy.
Basically gave instructions, focus on the video. It said underscore the video, and then it says don't underscore the broader failure of policy.
The White House says the email is irrelevant, claiming it was about Middle Eastern protests in general, not Benghazi. Either way, Charles Woods says a select committee approved last week by the Republican-controlled House should provide more answers. Although Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi has called it a kangaroo court, Woods hopes the American people can see beyond the politics.
It should be all about America, what's best for America, not what's best for one political party or another.
For Woods, nothing will change one fact about his son.
He was an American hero, along with the others that helped him.
A few months after Tyrone's death, Charles paddled out on a beat-up yellow boogie board at their favorite spot. It's the same type of board Ty learned to surf on, and his father happened to find at a garage sale.
I can remember just going out there, salt in my eyes, and it was such a sweet thing to be able to surf on that yellow boogie board one last time, honoring Ty.
House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi has not yet decided whether Democrats will take part in that select committee. Charles Woods told me that he will testify if he's called to Capitol Hill. Yunji will send it back to you.
Very moving interview. Thanks so much, Andrew.